In the absence of Judge Executive Mike Buchanan, I will make a motion to appoint a Judge Pro Tem. Do I hear that motion?
I would like to make a motion that we nominate Doug Gorman.
Thank you, Tom. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. I'll call the roll. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne. Esquire
Yes,
Lawrence. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to, on behalf of Judge Executive Mike Buchanan, who I don't care if it's a HIPAA violation, is very sick with the flu right now, so that's why he's not here. And if it is, it's already slipped out, so we'll wish him, he's got a long weekend ahead of him, but we'll wish him well. So I'd like to call to order the Warren Fiscal Court Friday, March 22nd meeting. We're going to start off today's meeting with an invocation from our evangelist Tom Hall from Mount Pleasant Church of Christ. Ask you to please have Tom come forward, and after that we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have that by Esquire Ron Cummings.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day that you've given to us today. We're grateful, Father, for the sunshine that we're able to enjoy this time of year. We're grateful, Father, to live in the United States of America. We're thankful to live in the uncommon Commonwealth of Kentucky and to live in the county of Warren. And we're grateful, Father, for this good county. We're thankful today for all of your public servants who serve in these various capacities. We're thankful for them and for the decisions that they make that affect us on an ongoing basis every day. We're also mindful of the police and firemen and first responders that put their lives on the line every day for us. We're grateful for them as well. We also pray for every level of government in our United States of America, that you'll give them wisdom and direction and guidance and recognition that you are above us all. We're grateful, Father, for the love that you have for us in sending Jesus to die for us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young.
Here.
All right, first item is to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of March 5th, 2019.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Cummings. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 6, approve the personnel changes for Warren County.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, item 7, approve the second and final reading of ordinance 1907 WC authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Crabtree Estates.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence,
Second.
second by Squire McWhorter. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Or call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a great honor to have Gil Johnson with us today on the only time I have to do this. So the next item is item 8. Approve the first reading of ordinance number 1908 WC, an ordinance of the Fiscal Court of Warren County, Kentucky, authorizing and approving the issuance of Warren County, Kentucky general obligation refunding bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $6,500 authorizing the levy of a direct annual...
6 million.
6 million, sorry. That is a whole lot more than 6,500, thank you. Not to exceed 6 million. I thought there was no way Gil would drive from Lexington for $6,500. $6,500,000. And please, any corrections, just shout them out to me. It's great. Authorizing the levy of a direct annual tax on all taxable property within the county, in addition to all other taxes, in an amount sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on the bonds, to the extent that facility revenues are not sufficient, and authorizing the taking of all other actions, including the execution and delivery of a continuing disclosure agreement and such other documents, agreements, and certificates necessary or required for the issuance of the bonds. Mr. Johnson? Yeah.
Criticized by the other judge. This particular ordinance is intended for the purpose of a refunding, and I believe that the representatives from Compass have provided the treasurer with the projected savings. I'll let the treasurer speak to that.
It's approximately $288,000 over the next 10 years in interest savings on the refinance.
And of course, as always, it is in fact subject to what the savings are generated as the date of the sale. So if the savings are not satisfactory, then the sale does not go through. And I guess just as Judge points out, the language does require the reference to the taxes, although it does not raise taxes. This ordinance cannot do that.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Young. Any other further discussion or questions for Mr. Johnson? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Next up, number 9 is approve a resolution 1906, a resolution of the Fiscal Court of Warren County, Kentucky, encouraging and inducing Georgia Pacific Consumer Operations, LLC, its affiliates, successors, and/or assigns to proceed with the acquisition, development, construction, and operation of an addition to an industrial building by agreeing to undertake the issuance of industrial revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $110 million, agreeing to a memorandum of agreement, lease, and a payment in lieu of taxes agreement, subject to final approval by the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, and agreeing to take such other action as necessary or required to authorize the issuance of the bonds. Mr. Johnson?
Very typical industrial revenue bond issue. We've done them numerous times, but I will reiterate that the county does not have any obligation or liability in the event of a default. Taxes are not assessed or pledged to the payment of any of these bonds. So this is something we've done numerous times, just a different party this time.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Any further discussion or questions? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, item 10, grant judge executive authority to sign the National Museum of the United States Air Force Loan and Static Display Programs. And we have a great group of people here from Aviation Heritage Park. Just to discuss this. Thank you.
Thank you. My name's Mike Cowles. I'm on the board member of Aviation Heritage Park. Sometimes I think I'm back in my old life. Consultants never travel on their own. They travel in packs, and there's quite a pack back here, so I'd like to thank all the moral support. So this is for the annual lease. It's routine. Nothing's changed from last year to this year. It's for the Air Force artifacts that are on display at Aviation Heritage Park.
Great. It's quite a wolf pack that you do travel with.
Yes.
I'll say that. So,
Motion to approve.
motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
If I can have just another
Please.
moment? Okay.
Yes.
So if you've not been out to Aviation Heritage Park recently, there's been a lot of progress on Phase 1. We've been hampered by the weather, but hopefully the weather will stay improved. But all the site preparation, utilities, driveway, site, and we'll be pouring the foundation soon. So hopefully we'll be moving on to phase 2 shortly, and that'll be the construction of 11,000 square foot museum for both artifacts and maybe some small planes. Our annual Aviation Heritage Park hangar party is June 15th of this year. The theme is Breaking Barriers. I just want to take a moment and tell you about this year's honoree. It's Willa Brown. Willa Brown, born in 1906 in Glasgow, Kentucky. African-American woman who faced barriers in her life, racial discrimination of the day, and women did not have the right to vote yet. So she eventually ended up moving through education and experience of life to Chicago, where she became a licensed pilot. She was the first both licensed pilot and mechanic African-American in the United States. She had a chance to be with Eleanor Roosevelt, who convinced her husband that he should look at black aviators, and they became the source of the pilots who eventually went to Tuskegee and became the Tuskegee Airmen and the Red Tails. So part of the recognition this year will be a restored Piper Cub. Also will be a traveling exhibit education that we're bringing in for the Tuskegee Airmen. We'll have a lot of school kids go through that exhibit for a couple of days before it shows up at the hangar party. And finally, we will have a 4-star African-American general, retired general, Lloyd Newton. His nickname is Fig Newton. Apparently he gave himself that name. I don't think I'll be able to address him that way. Quite distinguished, flew 79 missions in Vietnam, over North Vietnam, came back and was a member of the Thunderbirds demonstration flying team that was then commanded by General Dan Cherry. Now, some people might think that was a career-limiting opportunity for General Newton, but he rose to command a number of air bases, was the liaison to the House of Representatives from the Air Force, retired as a 4-star general. So he will be attending and will be our keynote speaker during the celebration. Wow. And then finally, if you've been by the airport, you will notice a large gray helicopter sitting out there. That's a Sikorsky HS-3. So this year we will be unveiling the Piper Cub for Willa Brown. Next year will be the Sikorsky helicopter in honor of Colonel Mac Reynolds, born in Bowling Green High, University of Kentucky, Marine pilot of Marine One, which flew presidents. He was the pilot for Ronald Reagan, Bush #1, Clinton, and Bush #2. Thank you for your time.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's great. If you haven't been out there to the park, it's great. We need some dry weather for sure, but it is something that needs to be said that you gentlemen and ladies that are involved in that are making a generational change for this community, and no way we can thank you enough for your dedication, all volunteer driven, and what they've done is an amazing thing to transform the community out there. So thank you so much for your dedication to the community and making it better for our kids and grandkids as well. So that's a great thing. So thank you all so much for that. Have we voted on that? Did we call the roll on that? Perfect, that's right. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to take a short break here, but I have 2 guests that I want to have come forward in between here. So we've got Sherry Murphy, the Executive Director of the CVB, and she's got Eric Ward, who's the Commissioner of the Mid-South Conference that's here with us today. So if they can come forward, it'd be great.
I just quickly wanted to make an introduction of Eric Ward with the Mid-South Conference, a wonderful community partner, not only for Fiscal Court, but also for the convention and and Visitors Bureau.
You pull that down a little bit there, Sherry, or, well, Eric, you don't have to pull down for you, so it's good. There we go.
Good morning.
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 Appreciate the opportunity to be here. We try to come before the fiscal court once a year and give you a brief update on the progress that the Mid-South Conference is making in creating a home here in Bowling Green and Warren County for our conference and our member schools. Just to give you a little bit of a historical update, last summer, with the help of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, we were able to negotiate a 5-year extension added on to our host agreement, which will put us here in Bowling Green and Warren County for another 7 years through spring of 2025. With that commitment from the CVB and from the county and the city, my wife and I made a decision that we needed to live in Bowling Green. We got tired of driving back and forth from central Kentucky to Bowling Green every week, trying to take care of business. So we moved here in the spring, last spring, and are really enjoying making this our home now, and have moved the conference offices here to Bowling Green. We actually share office space with the Sporting Times, with Doug Thompson and the Sporting Times. We have a lot in common, so we felt like sharing office space was a good thing for both of us. Back in the fall, we entered into a partnership with Bowling Green Independent Schools, and more specifically Bowling Green High School, to work with them and host a number of our events and activities on their campuses and in their facilities. And as a result of that, we've made a lot of progress. One of the things that we've been trying to figure out for the last 4 or 5 years since we started our relationship here in the community in spring of 2015, we've been working very hard to try to find a way to host our conference basketball tournament here in the community. And we've been experiencing some facility challenges, trying to find a place that's suitable for us to host the tournament. But with the help of Bowling Green Independent Schools, and specifically with the high school, we think that we might have that fixed for next year. So we hope to be able to make an announcement very soon about hosting our conference basketball tournament here next March in 2020. So we're very excited. I think this year we have 19 of our events that will be held here in the community, starting last fall and then running through about the middle of May this spring. So we're very excited about our relationship. We couldn't have asked for better cooperation and a more conducive environment in which to bring our events and find a home for the Mid-South Conference here in Bowling Green. And I want to ask Chris Cummer if he'll come up for a second, because they're a big part of it. Warren County Parks and Recreation is a big part of what we're doing here in the community. They provide tremendous support for us. Their facilities are outstanding, and I just want to express our thanks to Chris and give him a token of our appreciation. Come on up here. Thanks, man.
No problem, man.
Glad you dressed for the occasion.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the professional Chris. So, all right, cool.
That's a working man, Eric. That's what that looks like right there. That's right.
And then we also recognize everything that the county and the fiscal court does to support us. And Judge Buchanan, he's a tremendous supporter of what we're trying to do here. Mm-hmm. So on behalf of, I want to present this to you, Mr. Gorman, on behalf of Mid-South Conference. Our thanks to the magistrates and the fiscal court.
Smile, ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at Don. Sherry.
Yeah, sure.
Is it an iPhone? Did he say, is that an iPhone 3?
Well, no.
Oh. Ready? 1. I'm going to take more down the series in it. 1, 2, 3. Smile again. 1, 2, 3. Look at Don. here to look at Don? You're welcome.
Yeah, I will. All right, back to our agenda, and I'm going to make one more change. We're going to move item 29 up.
If you don't mind, I've got a question,
Yes,
sir.
Eric?
You made reference to 19 events. Yes, sir. During the year. Would you give us an estimate of the number of people, participants?
Yes. I think Amy Cardwell has been working on that for this current year, and I trust her numbers better than mine. But I think the number that she was showing me last week was a little over 6,000 visitors that we've generated over the course of about 9 months. That equates to about 3,500 hotel nights. And I have had several of the hotels that we work with. We work with, on a routine basis, we work with about 6 or 7 properties in the community to host our teams. And I understand that for many of those hotels, we're one of their largest customers now throughout the year. So I think we're making an impact. I think we're creating a little economic impact in the community.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Eric. Okay, if it's all right, I'd like to move item 29 up. I see Wendell out here, so he's got things to do today. No, we all do, but I appreciate Wendell Strode coming and all the things he does. So item number 29, if that's okay, we'll go to that one. And that is approve order 1909, changing the names of Grimes Road to Kimberly A. Fast Drive. Okay, got a motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carries. Wendell, thanks for everything, man. All right, back to our regular items. We'll go back to number 11. Make part of the record appointing Lloyd Ferguson to the Warren County Board of Assessment Appeals, also known as the County Board of Supervisors. Unless there's any objection, we'll just make that a part of the record. Thank you. Number 12. Make part of the record the affiliate agreement between the South Central Kentucky Workforce Area and the Warren County Regional Jail. This agreement will enhance job search for soon-to-be-released inmates and allow a conduit for employers to interview inmates. Jailer Harmon is with us today.
Somebody here from the Kentucky Career Center that wants to address the court as well. Part of our reentry efforts, we've got 3 staff members that do nothing but full-time teach classes and work on reentry efforts for the soon-to-be-released inmates. This program is one that we're hoping to launch really soon. We've provided a space in one of our offices for the Kentucky Career Center that will provide a secure way for nonviolent, felon-friendly factories and other employers to come and meet with and interview inmates. So I think everybody involved, taxpayers at home, the inmates, the jail staff, everyone in the community can benefit from these folks being able to walk out potentially with a job. And so I want to give high praise to my 3 staff members that do the majority of the meat and potatoes of this program, but also somebody that we've partnered with that has come in many times in our pre-release classes and helped these folks have some direction as far as employment's concerned upon release. Bobby Stillwell with the Kentucky Career Center, if you want to come up. She's going to offer a word or two about what this partnership is, being an affiliate partner with the Kentucky Career Center.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning.
Morning.
So glad to be here with you. Thank you for your time. We are very excited because, as you know, there are a lot of jobs that need to be filled in our 10-county areas. So the Workforce Board and Robert Boone, we are partnering with the local jail. It's a program called LEAP, and it was developed by the Department of Labor. And it is linking employment activities to pre-release. So we will actually be working with them making sure that they have everything to be work-ready as soon as they go out the door. So we, in the pre-release class, we have all of the community members like Brad, people from SNAP, Goodwill, who are there to tell the inmates, here's what we can do as soon as you're out. And then I was at a staffing coalition yesterday with the chamber, and they're very excited to partner with us and make sure they have a job before they go out the door. So we look forward to reporting back to you and letting you know how exciting the results are. The study that the Department of Labor did with the LEAP program reduced the recidivism rate by about 50%. So we are excited to partner.
amazing
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jailer. All right, please call the roll. Have we already? We've already.
It's made part of the record.
Oh, it is made part of the record. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And what a great program. Thank you for coming today. And I appreciate Jailer Harmon and his efforts to understand what these people are doing after they get out and what we can do. So thank you for that. Okay, next item, make part of the record the Warren County Regional Jail Populations Report from February 23rd, 2019 and 3/22/2019. And without objection, we'll make that part of the record. Item 14 is approve the 2019-20 budget for the Warren County Regional Jail. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 15, approve payment of $1,625 to the Davis County Detention Center relating to a vehicle collision where an employee of the Warren County Regional Jail backed into their transport van. There's 3 quotes received. This is the lowest and best quote. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Young. I'm just going to have that pause for a moment to, I think we're all just curious.
On a lighter note, I appreciate the way Brenda put that on there. I think I put it in a lot more professional, but she's kind of outed me a little bit. And I would like to first mention that this hasn't happened to us as near as many times as it has to Chris and his staff. So I'd like to throw that out there. The place that this happened was in the Sallyport area coming out of the federal courthouse in Nashville. The way the report was written, we were indicated at fault. I'm not really sure about that, but at the end of the day, I met with Greg about our insurance, and we don't really have much of a choice other than just to pay it. So here we are. So
Okay. Your vote is just to approve this, not to approve that story that was just told. So, all right? That's right. We call the roll, please.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item 16, approve the easement for school bus turnaround at 2162 Old Green Hill Road.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 17, approve the 211 report for February 2019.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Next item, approve the second quarter financial report for Warren County for 2018-2019.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 19, approve the determination in the amount of $13,578 to Conrad Floors for the resurfacing of the gym floors at White, Buchanan, and Moore Parks for the Warren County Parks Department. 3 quotes were solicited, only 2 received.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, make part of the record no change to the policy and procedure manual for the Warren County Regional Jail. If there's no discussion, oh. Yes, please.
policy. We're in the process of doing that now. Unfortunately, our inspection is in about a week, and so the first quarter of every year, I'm required to have something in front of you to say either here are the changes or that there aren't any changes. So there's going to be plenty of changes, but it's still under construction. It's not ready to be approved yet.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jailer. With that, we'll make that a part of the record. Next item, we are going to skip item 21 and remove that from the agenda. Next item is 22, grant judge executive authority to sign United States Department of Justice burn JAG grants and all related documents for the benefit of the Drug Task Force. Mr. Loving is with us. Care to make a comment about that? If not, I mean, you came all the way up here, Tommy, so.
I don't want to hold the meeting any longer than y'all have to. But anyway, 2 grants. One will be $30,000. The other one's $156 and change. Just basically what we've been doing for 22 years. And they don't send us enough money, but we're still getting some.
That's great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
All right. Do we have a motion for that?
No, we don't, not yet.
Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, accept the best bid from Finley Fire Equipment in the amount of $82,355 for fire equipment for the Browning Volunteer Fire Department. This grant was approved by Warren County Fiscal Court on October 26, 2018.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, approve the interfund transfers for Warren County.
So moved.
Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item, 25, approve the budget transfers for Warren County.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Lawrence. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 26, approve the first reading of ordinance 1909 WC authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and McKinney Farm Subdivision Phase 2. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 27, accept the best and only bid from Hale General Contracting in the amount of $47,820 for the repairs to the Hadley Volunteer Fire Department.
So moved.
Is anyone from Hadley here?
Russell couldn't be here this morning. He gave me a phone call.
Okay.
Did they try
What-
to solicit other bids?
They did.
They did, and to no avail.
There's,
To advertise probably back, I don't know, a couple months ago. Put it in the newspaper, we solicited a few phone calls from those, and it was the only response that we got. I think we had initially received a quote from a couple contractors earlier in the year, but just because of the cost being as high as it was, that we put it back and publicly advertised it, and this is the result we got. We've spoken to Mr. Hale, and I think he understands the project, prepared to move ahead if it's good with you, and we'll coordinate with Russell on how that process will work, just with timing of the year and moving of equipment. So.
Hey, Josh, I have one question I'm going to just ask. Me and you are on the court.
Yeah.
Are we pursuing all avenues of how we're soliciting for stuff? You know, it is this one. I've been sitting here for a long time listening, and we only get one bid or two bids on some stuff, just on, not in this particular project, but just in general. what can we do to improve that ability to solicit and get other people to?
As we discussed, we've got some statutory responsibility and requirements of advertising in the daily news or the newspaper of largest circulation, so we do follow that process. Typically, in this case, myself, James, we will try to reach out to some other local guys to try to get a local contractor in here. In this case, we all know how busy construction is in Warren County, and this being somewhat of a small project that's going to have a little bit of moving pieces, we just didn't have any response from any of the larger ones, but we do try to take every avenue we can to get good bids in, but you all know sometimes we like to get things done pretty quickly, and a lot of times that doesn't work with the contractors we've got in this community, but it's a good problem to have, but something we still work through. Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. We have a motion from Squire Young, second from Squire McWhorter. Before we take that vote, just for the record, Hale General Contracting is related to Brenda and is also related to our county attorney. So for that information there. All right, any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item 28, approve American Engineers, Inc. as the engineering consultants for repairs to the old Richardsville Road Bridge and grant authority to Public Works to negotiate the final scope of work and final pricing. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. We have Josh here to answer a few things for us.
You guys got the memo that I put in your packet. I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but as we move forward on this bridge repair, we are trying to follow all of the Transportation Cabinet's process and policy for procurement, because no secret that we were going to hopefully look for some assistance through them for this construction process. So we followed what their process would be for a request for qualifications or proposals. In this case, we had a committee of 4 individuals, Transportation Cabinet, City of Bowling Green, their Public Works Director, as well as Nikki and myself. We reviewed the submittals. We had 3, all from the state, Glasgow, Lexington, and Louisville. We scored those independently, looked at the scores and discussed and felt that American Engineer team was the best team that we had for the project. So with your approval of this, what we'll do next is move into what we'll call a scoping discussion, where we'll sit down with them and figure out what's the best course, to what extent, and what exactly are we looking for in this bridge repair, and they will provide us with a estimate for that work. I'll come back to you guys and get authorization and to accept their price. I don't know, that's probably going to be a 30-day process. I'm assuming we will go back and forth in getting those meetings together, probably have some on-site inspections. But that is in line with the way KYTC moves forward on their construction projects, so we're just going to follow that all the way through. I know we've got most of the street, most of the road here today, and I don't know if any of them have anything they want to say, but if you've got any questions of me, I'd be glad to answer them.
Josh, thank you for your work on this project. I know it's been time-consuming, frustrating.
Well, really, we need to thank the neighbors as well, just because it's been closed we'll be going on a year this summer. So we know it's an inconvenience, but we also, I think they're aware as well as you guys, that this is a pretty daunting task. I mean, we've got a very old bridge with a lot of historical significance. We want to repair it. We want to repair it properly. We also want to maintain the character that's out there. So there's just a lot of intricacies that we've got to figure out as we move forward. So bear with me, and these guys, if they can be patient, I know they have been. So appreciate it.
Yep. Should be said, no question about it, Gray and Blake, Patrick and Jason and even Lori, thank you for your patience. It is a major, and anyone else who's here too, it's a major undertaking of what we need to do out there, but it's an important part of this community, and so we want to try to make that happen. But the wheels of government sometimes move slow. You have to make sure it's done the right way, and we'll make sure that happens. But thank you for your patience and also for your investment in our county and our community. That doesn't go without saying about the things you've done about homes and businesses, and so we appreciate all that as well. So anyone's welcome to say anything if you'd like to. If you're just here to skip work, you can do that as well. So that's good. But just thank you for your patience. We do have a motion and a second on the floor. So if we can, any other discussion on that? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire
Yes,
McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is item 30, grant authority for judge executive to sign all documents relating to the Department of Environmental Protection Household Hazardous Waste Grant.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire
Yes,
Lawrence.
ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next item is claims. The treasurer, please report the claims.
General Fund, $1,571,512. Road Fund, $91,410. Jail Fund, $456,298. Stormwater Fund, $33,253. Grant Fund, $85,423. Hotel Tax Fund, $1,265. E911 Fund, $9,407, and Fed Forfeiture Fund, $2,638. Be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion to pay claims as submitted.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Any other discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Lori, I see you back there. I'm going to go back to it too. You know, two of our busiest wedding and venue events rely on that bridge as well. It's just a very important thing, and so I did want to mention that as well. It's an important thing about the investment there. So it's not just homes, it is businesses. So again, thank you all for your patience. No pressure, Josh. So it's good. Okay, the sheriff's not with us, but Kevin's here. Anything from the sheriff's office? Thank you. Miss Yates, not with us. Jailer Harmon. Thanks, sir. And we're looking to backup cameras on all of our vehicles now. I know that. Chris. Stephen, I'll tell you. Okay. Josh, anything else? Thank you so much. Jerry? Ronnie's not. Travis? Oh, good. Don't see, is Bob here? No. Mr. Peterson? Miss Alexieff?
Thank you to the community and volunteers. We had a successful first ever Clean the Green last Saturday, and our major sponsors were Republic Services, and they were tremendous. They both chaired the event, this first event, and provided safety equipment and the containers and all over the city. I'd also like to thank Booth Fire and Safety, which is not related at all to this proceeding, for providing safety vests for us. We also had Wendy's at Bowling Green that provided lunch. Warren County, we had support from Warren County Public Works, Stormwater Management, the Planning and Zoning Commission, specifically in the BG Bike Walk program, because we had greenways involved, and the City of Bowling Green neighborhoods, as well as Public Works and Stormwater. We had a tremendous turnout, and I just wanted to thank everybody who was involved, and thank you all for your continued support of the mission of keeping our community beautiful. Have a great day.
Thank you. James?
Thank you, Judge.
Marie?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
All right. Miss Milliken? Gregory? All right. Squire Cummings?
Just want an additional shout out. Yesterday, most of us went to the JA achievement thing, and want to especially recognize, Lester Key and Dave Chandler, one of our own, for the work, tremendous work he's done for Warren County and he will continue to do, but I just want an extra shout out to him.
Yep, it's great. It was a great event. Squire Young.
Thank you, Judge. Just a word for Jailer Harmon. I know he's been getting blasted this morning, but for all the new programs that he is initiating, continues to initiate for the inmates, and not only, my preacher was here this morning, and he has been granted access under Jailer Harmon's leadership to minister to some of the inmates, and that, to me, is important. Thank you for that.
Yep, does a great job with that. Squire McWhorter.
Just like to say, nice job, Doug. Get well soon, Mike.
That's right, get well very soon, Mike. That's supposed to say so. Squire Payne.
Thank you, sir.
Squire Lawrence.
I'd just like to invite everybody and encourage them to come out to the First Baptist Church today for the chili cook-off. It benefits the Community Action of Southern Kentucky Foster Grandparents Program. It's a great cause, so come out and enjoy some of the delicious chili between 11 and 2 and 4 and 6. There's 2 different sessions you can go in on.
Great.
No charge for Tums.
No charge for Tums, that's right.
$6 for the ticket, no charge for the Tums.
It's not bad. Our next fiscal court meeting is April 12th at 9 a.m. And so we'll hope to see you, if not sooner, we'll see you then. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Cummings and Farr. Thank you so much.